So apart from being able to get into progress to UWA, what other facilities in terms of, I think, number of students inside a class, or what other facilities do pathway students get when they get into UWA college?
I think it's important to note the value of a pathway program, right?
Yeah.
First of all, the pathway program is considered a higher education sector. So you're not going into a program where you feel like you are taking a step back. You're taking a step forward by going into a pathway program.
Right.
And there's a lot of benefits in doing pathway programs. For example, I think most of our students, from Bangladesh, most if not all, I'd say, when they travel to Australia for the first time, when they travel to Australia, it will be likely their first time away from home, away from their families. So the whole experience can be quite daunting, right?
Definitely.
Starting in your new chapter of your life by yourself, having to make all these kinds of decisions, especially when you are like, 18, 19, still very relatively young. So which is where we provide extra support, whether it's curricular, whether it's academic support or social support to every student, to make sure that the biggest piece that we make sure that the student get is the wrap-around service. When they enroll at the college to start the foundation or diploma program, we make sure that they are encouraged to attend our one-on-one counseling session. We will track their performance, not at the end of the trimester, but on a regular basis.
Right.
If they are falling behind, we will alert them early, schedule a one-on-one to see where they need, where the gaps are, and we can provide the support. In terms of them adjusting as quickly as possible and being well acquainted with their friends and the college team, we make sure that the class sizes are smaller, which is around 22 for every classroom, as opposed to 200 students if they go directly to university to study their bachelor's degree sitting in a lecture theatre. We also make sure that we don't just look at their, academic performance, we look at their social performance as well. We run social activities on a regular basis. If a student is not participative, if they seem to be isolating themselves, I think this is where the red flags are. We want to make sure that they are not homesick, that they don't have any other social problems, or they are not mentally challenged. So we look at not just academic but also their overall health and well-being. It's where I feel we find the outcome of all of this support that students get at college level in terms of the overall performance of the students. What I'm trying to say is, I had a discussion with some colleagues earlier. There was actually a research paper done a few years ago where they assessed the performance of a student from overseas when they arrive to start their pathway program, foundation or diploma, and then they progress to the university and complete it. And versus the performance of a student who came straight from their home country to start straight at university. The research suggests that students who started their college studies at college level tend to perform way better at university than those who came directly to the university. One important element there is cultural experience. I mean, students come from various countries where there will be different level of expectations. I've had students who come from countries where they are taught not to ask questions. When you are in class, you're supposed to listen to the professor and not ask questions. And everything that is being shared by the professor is supposed to be the main source of truth. It's different in Australia. Australia has a system or has a culture where you are meant to challenge your educator, you're meant to challenge your professor. So you're given that opportunity to ask questions. So this is where some students who go straight to university from their home country will feel a little bit intimidated when they look at all other students who are so engaged, and I think that could impact their overall performance. So I think starting at college level is where we will guide you, we will show you how that's done. So by the time you get to university, your confidence level will be on par with everybody else.
Fawzal, I don't think anybody could have explained it better than how you just mentioned the facilities that actually a college provides when an international student goes to a country for the first time, right? I think it's very important for the parents to understand as well, because in our culture over here, we are used to very personalized coaching. right?
Yes.
So students go to their schools,
Yes.
and then they go to coaching centers
Yes,
in the
exactly
afternoon,
that, yes.
and in the evening they have teachers coming at their home to home tutor them. So we are used to personalized care, but when a student goes to such a high ranked university directly, they get into an auditorium where 200 students are sitting, and then they sit on a side.
It's very daunting
It's
experience.
very daunting. It's very difficult because
Yes.
they're on their own.
Yes.
They're not accustomed. 16 years of their education, they have studied in a certain way, in a certain space and speed, but then it changes all of a sudden. So the transition actually hampers the students' progression, and a lot of times the results are also affected, which is something that I always tell. We actually, as a unit at PI, always mention our clients that it's very important for somebody to have like a guardian at the college that you're going to. So definitely UWA college works like that. They care about the well-being of the student, as you mentioned, the curriculum, the classes. If they're not doing well, the counseling sessions can happen. So আপনারা যারা শুনতেছেন, I hope আপনারা একটা idea করতে পারতেছেন the difference between going to a university through a direct entry and also the difference between compared to difference by going to a college pathway মাধ্যমে যাওয়া.
A key element I must emphasize here as well is integration.
Yeah.
So what I've shared earlier is all part of the overall integration into the university community. The other thing that we make sure that our students get is that from the day they arrive on campus for their orientation,
they feel part of the university.
To make them feel a part of the university, they will receive not a UWA college ID card, but they will receive a UWA ID card.
Wow.
That ID card, what it means is it gives them full access to all of the facilities, whether it's a medical, student services, library, sports facilities, cafes, sports club facilities. They get the same access just like all other university students. And that way it helps them to integrate much quicker to the university. Even while they're studying diploma, they are already interacting with the university bachelor's and master's degree students. And the other thing that we also ensure is that they, having come from various cultures, I mean, we're not just talking about students from Bangladesh, it could be from any other countries. Everybody comes with their own culture that they bring to make sure that they don't feel like they are starting to get disconnected from their culture. We make sure that we support as much as possible their cultural needs, even their dietary needs. For example, on campus we have multiple spots like for cafeterias and cafes. There's plenty of dietary options, including halal food. It's very widely available for Muslim students. And for there's a lot of Muslims from Bangladesh. There's we have a musalla, a prayer room that students can stop by in between classes to their prayers. During Ramadan is the best time of the year to be on campus, because during Ramadan students don't cook.
Okay.
The Muslim Students Association sponsor iftar for the whole month.
Wow.
So students actually get together at sunset and enjoy a feast together. And the best thing about inclusiveness is that when these things are organized for students for specific cultural and religious groups, for example the iftar gathering, the invitation goes out to all students, even non-Muslims join in,
irrespective of their
religion. Yeah. So I think if we want them to feel, we don't want them to feel isolated or removed. It's all part of the overall integration.
Amazing. So basically the college is looking after the well-being, the religious requirements, the education requirements, everything.